Neither cold, nor snow, nor lack of water will stay Virginia's legislators from their appointed rounds. Well, lack of water, that is, Richmond's water crisis, did for a couple of days. There's much to keep lawmakers busy in this election year session, with Virginians choosing a new governor and deciding control of the House of Delegates. Legislators are eager to get their work done, get home, get back to fundraising, and get back on the hustings. Elective officials are not necessarily at their best in an election year. That's because they spend a lot of time and energy talking up ideas that voters want to hear. Thus, the polls push what are known as brochure bills, that is, proposals cooked up with voters in mind. Still, there's much to be said amid economic uncertainty for lightening the tax burden for Virginians. Republicans and Democrats have very different ideas about how to do that, but it's a safe bet they'll come up with something that, for sure, will be argued over in the campaign ahead. The bottom line will be whether the legislature and governor were sufficiently generous giving back to you your money. More money for schools, more money for teachers' salaries and those of other public employees, more money for mental health. All are big topics, and with a giant surplus, more than $3 billion, a lot of legislators envision big investments in their pet programs. But there are other issues that have to do with Virginians' quality of life. Some of them are getting a lot of attention, others aren't. Legalizing those electronic gambling machines you may have seen at gas stations and convenience stores. The politicians have been fighting over them for several years. There's a better chance they'll agree this go-around on regulations and oversight. As for a full-on framework for retail sales of marijuana, it's likely to go up in smoke. Again, the governor has vowed to reject such legislation. Personal use of weed is legal in Virginia, but commercial sales aren't. That may have to wait until Democrats control the governorship and the legislature. We'll find out in November. A couple of other issues you may not be hearing a lot about. Legislation requiring full disclosure by university researchers about how they treat lab animals. Another bill would require that such animals, if they're no longer in those labs, be sent to sanctuaries where they can spend their final days. Also, and if you live in the countryside, this is a big deal, there are proposals to make it easier for rural Virginians to get their prescription medication. There are nearly 20 counties, all of them rural, that have only one drugstore or don't have any. These so-called pharmacy deserts are a consequence of, among other things, industry consolidation and control on prices that make it tough for mom and pop pharmacies to make any money. Are these bills a prescription for this problem? We'll find out during this legislative session and the election. For the Richmond Times-Dispatch, this is Jeff Shapiro.